Hello, Flourish Writers friends, and welcome to another edition of Strategies to Sustain Your Writing Life. Welcome to the month of May. This month, we're looking at how to have confidence in your message. Roundabout now in the year, that writing idea that was so bright and sparkly and hopeful at the beginning of the year might be starting to feel worn out and wearisome. And so, what do we do to return to that excitement that we had when the message that we're sharing first springs to our heart? How to sustain that? So, first, let's begin with a student sharing what's been going on in their writing life. Even though I have written and produced many things, I'm always the target of criticism. It has inhibited my writing. As we began the Academy 2022, I was weary as I have ever been. I started reading The Story of With by Alan Arnold for our first Academy book club. Last night, I had a huge breakthrough. I am writing with God on a devotional series, excited about the progress and premise of the story. So I shared it with someone. Uh-oh. And here came the criticism. They didn't even get through the first paragraph without saying, "Do you want me to fix things as I read?" But instead of being upset about it, out of my mouth came, "No, because I'm writing with God, and that is enough for me." I thought, who cares if someone else doesn't like it? I am learning so much by writing with him. I wasn't downtrodden or in despair. I just look forward to writing with him again today. I am rejoicing. So this student experienced that shift that happens when we go back to the source of our inspiration. The source of the very message itself is our connection with God, and returning to that place of, I'm just creating as an act of obedience. I'm going to keep showing up because that's really me playing my part. I didn't originate this idea. This idea really originated with God. So one of the ways that we think about this at Flourish Writers is in terms of the limiting beliefs. What are those ideas that creep in at different stages of the writing process that just get us off track, derail us, or just set in despair and attack that confidence in our message? So let's look at 3 common limiting beliefs that might be showing up in the month of May, or whenever you're watching this or listening to this. So number 1 is it's just working. I'm working too slow. I'm not making the progress that I wanted to. I started off with this big vision. I said yes to my writing life, but I am not anywhere near where I wanted to be. Does that feel familiar? You just get frustrated with how long everything's taking. And when you say yes to the vision, it just seems like, oh, there's this wave of energy and hope and enthusiasm. And then it kind of turns into drudgery. And you just feel like you're, swimming through honey or thick sludge. So what do we do with this when this thought pops into our mind, this critique on our shoulder that says, "Oh, for goodness sakes, you are working so slowly"? Well, say it and turn and look at it and say, "Is that true, God? Is that true? What do you say?" All right, here's another common one that attacks us. The writing life's too complicated. I had no idea what I was getting into. This is not what I signed up for. I keep working harder, but just creating a bigger mess for myself. And I mean, I'm here in the academy. I'm showing up as a Flourish writer, hoping to find clarity, but I'm feeling overwhelmed because it's just too much. So if you're feeling that way, say it. Say it out loud, look at it, and say, well, God, then what do you have for me today? What can I work on today? I can't overwhelm my mind with all the things that are coming up next week or next month or next year. All I can do is show up today and just keep showing up and do the few things that I can do today. Limiting belief number 3, I don't have what it takes. I now am in a community with other writers. They all seem so amazing. They're getting stuff figured out. And in the private community space, people are sharing their Share a Win Friday. And I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, like everybody else is doing so much better than I am, so much more than I am. And why isn't it coming together for me? I must be in the wrong place. Well, say it, look at it, and then examine it according to the word of God. You know that comparison. Those who compare themselves with themselves are not wise. It's right there in the word. So why don't you just look at your own journey, your own writing life? We all have all kinds of complexities and complications. What is the Lord asking of you? That's all that you can do, is to show up and do that. As I was pondering this situation in the writing life where we just begin to lack confidence in our message, where these limiting beliefs attack us, and I thought of 1 Corinthians 13:12 in the New King James Version. I thought, you know what it feels like right about now is I see in a mirror dimly. I want to see clearly, but it's so dim. I want to see face to face, but God says, well, that comes later, Mindy. That comes later when you're with me. Right now, you are in the middle of your earth life, and there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot that you won't see clearly until later. Okay, but I really need some clarity now. In the New Living Translation, it says, we see things imperfectly, like puzzling reflections in a mirror. So I thought, ooh, let's do a word study on this. What is this? What is this imperfectly and puzzling? What's going on here? Because this is really speaking to me now. I'm feeling like Paul is speaking right into my situation. So I looked up, and the word dimly means riddle. It's a riddle-like, a question or statement intentionally phrased to require ingenuity in ascertaining its answer or meaning, typically presented as a game. That was the Oxford Reference definition of this Greek word used in 1 Corinthians. And when I saw this game aspect come in, it just lifted that weight off my shoulders. And I thought, good gracious me, God, what a kind message to us. If we think of our writing life as a game, a riddle that requires ingenuity to solve, it just really shifts the atmosphere. It flips the script. It's like, oh, okay, this could be fun. I have entered an adventure with God. My goodness me. Okay, God, let's look at this riddle today and give me ingenuity to solve what I'm facing. If you're feeling apprehensive in your writing life, if you're losing confidence in your message, if you're kind of drowning under those limiting beliefs, that doesn't disqualify you. It just makes you human. We all are here facing the same battle with critique, with uncertainty, with somebody else has already said it and they said it better. Why am I here even doing this? We all have those thoughts. It just makes us human, and it makes us a person engaged with something. Because if we were running away and ignoring it, then the doubts wouldn't plague us. So it's just part of the landscape. And that's why we're here to encourage you with these strategies to sustain your writing life. Because if you think you're the only one, then you want to give up and run away, but you're not. So we encourage you to engage with God and find the adventure. That brings to mind one of my favorite verses in Proverbs 31, so that we can laugh at the days to come. God, you're taking care of that for me. You've called me and I'm showing up and doing my part. Guide me and lead me. I am your child. I am in so much need of clarity, so much need of confidence in what you've given me to share. I'm going to engage with you, Lord, and help me to see it as an adventure, as a game that we're playing together. It is lighthearted and light-spirited, and you are with me. I love to share these words from students because it helps us to realize that we aren't alone. And that's one of the blessings of being in community at Flourish Writers, and especially the Academy, where we take this long view together. We take this long journey together, a long obedience in the same direction. So this student says, at the beginning of the week, I blocked off daily time in my calendar for writing, reading, learning. While that may seem like something trivial, for me, it was an affirmation to myself that writing is a real thing that I'm doing, that it is worthy of time on my calendar each day, and not just something I try to find the time for when I get everything else taken care of. While my week did not go completely as planned, just seeing my blocks of time on that calendar each day helped. And I did get some smaller goals accomplished. So I will count that as a win and keep going, creating my new daily routine, giving my writing priority and not just my leftovers. Oh, that just jumped out to me. So here's my challenge to you this month. Can you give your writing priority and not just the leftovers? You can't imagine what a shift that will make. It will make such a shift in your spirit, in your confidence, because engaging with intention, showing up with intention builds your confidence, just like automatically right off the bat. You don't even have to do anything else. You're just showing up with the intention of moving forward with what the Lord has put on your heart, with what he's called you to do. And then all you can do is what you can do today. You laugh at the days to come. It's our joy to share with you these strategies to sustain your writing life this year, because he who began a good work in you will bring it to completion. Of that, we are sure. Blessings, prayers, joy, and games, fun and adventure from me, Mindy, and Jenny, and all your Flourish Writers friends. So here's to flourishing in your writing life, one story at a time. Bye for now.